Do you need the 250K business line of credit from Chase? Well, this is the ultimate guide. This is the only video that you'll ever need to show you exactly what data points you need, the requirements, and how to get up to 250K in a business line of credit from Chase with no docs. And this is coming from someone that has a 150K business line of credit from Chase, and I got that with no docs at all. But stay all the way to the end, because I'm going to show you, even if you don't meet the requirements that I'm about to go over with you, you still can get 50 to 150K plus really in cash from Chase Bank. So let's go. What's going on? It's Colin Brown here from Business Credit Unlimited. I'm back. So let's get it. Now, this is going to be how to get a 250K business line of credit from Chase. And this is coming from someone that not only has a 150K business line of credit from Chase, but also I've funded clients millions in Chase Bank alone up to this date. And I can show you proof of that. But right now, I want to just stick to what we're talking about here. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, because I want those that are out there that qualify to go get this thing, because it's been great for me and my business, and I want you guys to know exactly what you need for it. I already have a video out there going over my data points for my 150K business line of credit, but I was thinking about it and I realized, like, I didn't tell exactly how you could do it. I really just went over my data points. So on this, I'm going to go over the data points that you need and the different requirements that you need to meet so you can get the business line of credit for your business too and change your life. So let's get it. Now, is it possible? Because you may have seen other videos talking about this. Yes, it's possible, but you may meet the requirements. Do not fall for the hype. You will not be able to get, 50, 100, 150K, 250K in a business line of credit from Chase just because you have an LLC. Okay, I am not the person that's going to come on here and lie to you and tell you these things. It's not the truth, y'all. It's not. That's not how that works. Okay, the banks are not just these big dummies that are just giving out six figures and funding to people that just because you start an LLC, just no docs, you could just go get massive amount of funding. It's not true. Okay, so even if you have a 700 plus score too, because some people think, oh yeah, once I get a 700 plus score, just the world opens up. Not quite. Okay, there's still other requirements, and everybody will not qualify for it. But like I said, you still could get 50 to 150K plus in cash from Chase Bank, even if you don't qualify for the business line of credit. So stay all the way to the end so we can go over those requirements. Now, personally, I do have the 150K business line of credit from Chase. I could have gone higher, because you might be like, well, why you only got 150? You said 250K. Well, I already have business credit cards from Chase. And normally the maximum exposure is 250K in funding before they start requiring documentation. So if you already have business credit cards, like 25K card, or maybe two cards for 25, you got 50, or whatever the case, then you want to keep that in mind, because once you get past 250, they're going to require documents for anything that they lend to you, pretty much, for the most part. Now, documentation, you may be wondering, what is documentation? Well, that includes, but not limited to, I end this out, 3+ months of bank statements, 2 to 3 years of tax returns, profit and loss statements, balance sheets, things like that. So if you have those docs, use them to your advantage. So it's actually a good thing. So it's going to make it even easier to get approved for this, because that's another thing. To get approved for this is one thing, but to get approved with no docs, you got to follow this guide. I'm telling you, because if not, they're going to ask you for docs. I promise you. So the odds are better of getting approved for this BLOC if you do have the docs. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about that later. Again, if your business is not doing, like $1 million of revenue and things like that, then there's certain things you can do to still get cash. All right. Now, if you, put here asking for too much could result in Chase asking for documentation. So just keep that around. Keep that in mind. That's what I was saying here. Yeah, stick around 50 to 150K on your business line of credit from Chase. Unless your business is doing like $1 million plus in revenue that you can prove a year, you want to keep that asking point low. Even if it's, you might be like, again, this is 250K. You're saying 250K. Everybody's situation is different. Okay. Everybody, I'm here so that you can tailor what you need for your specific business, for your specific situation, not just that you think just because you exist, you can get 250K from Chase. That's not the case. Okay. And I know I may lose some people just from telling y'all the truth, but I don't care. Like, I want y'all to know exactly how this thing actually works. Now, what are the requirements? Let's start with the personal credit requirements. Now, you want to have a 750 plus score, really. Like, you could be 700, really depend on your revenue and your business too. You can be 700, but they will check your personal credit. So you want this to be on point. The more things that you have on point, the easier it is to be approved, especially with no docs. So you want to keep that in mind. Like, everything that I go over, even if you don't have every single little data point, you still could be approved with no docs, depending on how strong some of the other data points that you have are. Like, for example, if you do not have the most business revenue, we're going to go over those requirements here soon. You want to at least bring to the table an 800 score. Now you can't deny that you've been taking care of your personal credit history, so it'll give you a much higher chance of being approved. So 3 to 9% credit utilization. I have a video on credit utilization too as well. I'll put that in the description. Credit history, 5+ years. Do not come to this thing if you've only had credit for like 3 months or something. You got like a secure card for $300 or something like that. Don't even try it. This is not for you yet. But stay to the end. I'll talk about what will be for you. Highest limit, 10K plus. So I would say really 25K plus on a personal limit is going to be ideal. My highest limit is only 25K myself on a personal side. I'm saying only, but I think that's great. Like, anything really past like 20K on the personal side is pretty good. 15 is fine too, really. You could get away with this with 15K. I just wouldn't 10K plus for sure. Like, I wouldn't come asking for 250K on a business line of credit if I only have like a 5K card, right? No negatives. You're destroying your chances if you have a ton of derogatories, especially like if you have them with Chase. I have clients that have tried to get like big funding from Chase and they have like recent late payments or recent charge off accounts with Chase. You don't want to do that. So personal credit card with Chase is preferred, but it's not required. The more relationship that you can build with them, the better. So I would actually, it's best to have the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve card, really. So that's what I would go for. And if you don't have the Reserve, you can go for that so you can get a higher limit. If you don't have a card with Chase, you can go for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. That's one of their personal cards and get a higher limit with them. You can check to see if you're pre-approved first before applying to as well. And they normally pull from Experian, but also can pull from TransUnion as well, or from both. Now, again, the longer the relationship with Chase, the better. The minimum is going to be 6 months. So I would not ask for this business line of credit unless I've had a business relationship with Chase, a personal and business relationship for a minimum of 6 months. Okay. If you have the documentation, you could do it right away. Like, they're going to ask for docs though. If you come to the table, you just open a Chase business checking account like 2 weeks ago, don't just pop in asking for 250K, even 100K is going to be too much. They're going to ask for docs. Okay. Now here's a secret tip. Have your W-2 income from either your job or your business come into Chase on the personal checking account. Once you do that, now you're showing Chase that you're willing to play ball. Like, you're actually building a relationship. You got some money, consistent money coming in. This is something that a lot of people sleep on. Okay. It sounds regular, but I'm telling you, a lot of people not doing that. They're not applying that strategy for funding. And I could go deeper on that, but I have to say that for, like my clients and stuff. But anyways, okay, so business. A Chase business relationship is required for a BLOC with no docs. Okay. Now, what does this mean? Oh, I said a Chase business relationship. Just say manager, whatever it is, I am in and out. A Chase business relationship, just having a relationship on the business side with Chase is required for a business line of credit if you're going for no docs. So what does this mean? What do you mean by relationship? At least a Chase business checking account. Start now if you don't have one. at least have $2,000. Start out with at least $2,000 in the account because that's the minimum that they require without having any fees. So I would have as much cash as possible, though, in my business checking account with Chase. Again, if you don't have one, don't even try to apply for the BLOC with no docs, okay? Now, here are some of the bank ratings. I put this in other videos, too, as well. Just to let you know, if you at a low 4, you got 1K to 3.9K in your account, mid 4. You can read the rest of it on the screen, okay? So I would actually want a mid 5, like 40K to 70K plus in your Chase business checking account. You may be thinking, oh man, that's like a crazy amount of money. I understand. For some of y'all, that's nothing. Like I spoke to a prospect. He had this amount of his money. I mean, his amount is, but he had this amount of money in his business checking account with Chase, but he was only 20 years old. So it's possible. Like you guys, this is not anything like crazy. Like if you're just starting your business, you're like working a job, the job is not paying you like that much. And when I say that much, at least for your standards, you know, you had like a 50 to 90K ish. And after you pay all your bills, you ain't looking at no 40K in your account and you ain't started your business yet. I get it. I've been there too as well. However, I'm just saying for the best results, if you're looking to get this 250K business line of credit from Chase with no docs, this is what you want. I'm just here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to beat around the bush, man. I'm just trying to tell y'all exactly what you need, okay? Now, I had around 50K cash in my business checking account when I was approved for my line of credit for 150K. Now, a merchant account with Chase is also required. If you're looking to get no docs, it's required to have the merchant account with Chase to be able to accept pretty much accept payments from clients or customers, okay? Now, as far as revenue, you want 15 to 25K plus consistent, but I would shoot for 50K consistently. Like if you have 50K cash coming into your business checking account for 3 months, you really just need 3 months consistent, like 3 consecutive months. That opens up the door for a lot of funding with Chase. Now, again, you may be thinking 50K, that's nuts. I understand. I get it. But for a lot of y'all, that's not. And I think I'm going to say this too. I think a lot of people do not understand how many people are out here that's actually making that much and a lot more in their business. If you don't know anybody that's doing like a 50K plus in their business, then maybe you need to pay to get around some people that are. Maybe you need to join some mentorships, join a program or whatever the case, so it can start being normal place to you. You know, and it's not like something crazy, because I realize when I say things like this, sometimes like people are like, what in the world? But it's really not that crazy. A lot of people are doing this. OK, thousands of people have this much and a lot more in their Chase business checking accounts. OK, like I said, I just met someone that was 20 years old. I didn't have this at 20 years old. OK. However, I'm just saying it's possible. Now, you normally would get a limit from up to 10% of your annual revenue. So if you're doing 1.5 million annually in business revenue, you should get up to a 150K business line of credit approval. That's how I did it. Now, with that being said, that's why I said, like, if you're at 50K plus, you got the right connection, then you probably still can make it happen. Okay. Es posible in Spanish. It's possible. All right. Now, this must be one important note, though. This must be coming through your Chase merchant account consistently every month to go for the no docs. Because here's the secret, y'all. Here's the secret. This is what they're not going to tell you. The secret is the reason that it's no docs is because they can see your revenue anyways. Because it's going to be coming out your merchant account. Okay, that's just the truth. Look, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. That's the secret. The secret is that they're going to see it coming out your account or coming into your account, and they're using that as documentation. It's not that they're just doing no docs and you just you got this money in PNC and then you just come and ask Chase for this and then they're just going to let you ride. It has to be coming into your Chase merchant account. So what does that mean? If you're already doing this type of revenue, you would have to switch over to Chase. But if you're already with Chase, like a lot of people are, then you know that this pertains to you. So if you don't have that coming into your business checking account, I'm not going to say it again. Keep watching after this. That's my last time saying it. I got another option for you. Business age 2+ years, meaning your LLC, when your LLC was actually established, 2+ years is best. Other products too, savings accounts, CDs, CD account, a mortgage, auto loans, retirement accounts, etc. Having these products will help too as well, or even like a personal loan. Okay. Business credit utilization. Mine was like 40% when I applied, and I still was approved. But you want to be less than 50%. Anything over 50%, if they can see that with the other loan products that you have, even if it's business credit cards, it's more likely that you can get asked for docs, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, how do you apply? You can go to chase.com. If you meet the requirements, boom, you can apply online. That's my least favorite option. Option number 2, which is my second favorite, would be to go to a local branch that's one of your area. I would deal with a banker that you have some type of rapport with, preferably. If you meet the requirements, you got the data points, then boom, you can apply and possibly be approved. Now, here's my favorite option, to speak with a business relationship manager. Now, a business relationship manager is normally only available to those clients that are doing at least $1 million in revenue in their business. And I give access to my business relationship manager for Chase and for other banks too as well, for higher limits and higher approvals. Okay, so you don't always have to be doing $1 million. You just have to have access to someone that can give you access to this business relationship manager. Okay, they're like a banker on steroids, because they can do a lot more than the average banker can that's inside of a branch. And they normally have access to underwriters too that they personally know and directly deal with, that can get you approved for the no documentation. Okay, so because underwriters are like, that's like everything. Having the right underwriter is everything. Now, without a business relationship manager, you are at the mercy of the algorithm, though. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for this $250K business line of credit, that's what this video is about. I would suggest using a business relationship manager. Now, here's some things to consider. This business line of credit can be an instant approval. Mine was, but it can also take like 7 to 10 business days on a wait. I've seen both. Chase would normally pull from Experian or TransUnion or both. The business line of credit does have an annual fee of $375, which is nothing for $250K, $100K, $150 or whatever. But just letting you know, you will get a UCC filing as well. That's one thing on the last video somebody asked. You will get a UCC filing, which I personally don't believe is that big of a deal, especially for this type of funding. However, it's something to keep in mind. If you don't know what a UCC filing is, you can kind of look it up. It's basically where Chase is going to say, all right, if this business was to go out of business, y'all owe me the money first. Like, you got to pay me. It's essentially like having a quote unquote, a lien on your business per se, but you still can get funding from other banks, even with having a UCC filing. The UCC filing you want to avoid is one where you did not pay back a loan, and then you got that type of lien on your business credit reports. The APR, I didn't mention this last time on the last video. It should be around 9 to 20% at the absolute max. Mine was around 12%, which to me is not bad to be able to get access to $150,000 in cash. Now, this is what I've been talking about. This is not a big secret or anything, but it's just something to consider. If you need the funding, but you don't meet the requirements yet, you like, I don't have that much cash in my checking accounts, it's all good. Just go for the 0% business credit cards, especially if your business is new and you want the 0% APR rate. Go for the business credit cards instead. They have 0%, them being they being Chase. They have 2 business credit cards with a 0% rate: the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited and the Chase Inc. Business Cash. Okay. But you like, I want the business line of credit, Colin, because of the cash. I need the cash. Okay, cool, bet. Simply apply for and be approved for the 0% cards, then liquidate the cards. This is your only option if you don't meet the requirements. So, don't fuss at me about it. It's just all you can do at this point until you meet the requirements. All right. We just got our client Dory, $95K with Chase within 2 Chase Inc. business credit cards. And I'll show you that real quick. So this is My share your win section inside of Circle. Oh, that was nice. My client got a 50K business line of credit. Let me just go to Dory. So Dory right here is showing you where he got 75K on the Chase Inc. Unlimited. And then he hasn't posted this yet, but I'm gonna just go and show y'all. Just got the phone with Chase. I got approved for another 20K. When I get the card, I will post. So around the time this is, y'all will see this, is probably gonna be posted, but still, just want to show y'all that that's 95K to 20K plus the 75. He got 95K just from Chase. Now he can liquidate those cards if he want to get access to what, like 80K of that in cash if he really wanted to. So that's your only option if you don't meet the requirements. It's all good, because I know the requirements are not going to be for everyone, but this is literally how you get access to it. This is the only way, especially for no docs. Now, again, if you want to show documentation, it's a completely different story. But if you need one-on-one help, hit the resource in the description so that I can help you get up to 250K in 0% funding, or for a business line of credit too, especially if you like, I meet a lot of these requirements, Colin, but I don't have access to a relationship manager. We can work something out. Just hit the description, fill out the quick survey. If you meet the requirements, then we'll hop on a call and see what we can get going, and see if I can get you access to some funding too. That's it, y'all. This is how you get access to the 250K business line of credit from Chase with no docs. See y'all in the next one. Peace.